Hi everyone, welcome to the session on CS22071 Agile Methodology presented by R. Samudi, Assistant Professor of Computer Science and Engineering. Today, in this session, we are going to see the topic as the institutional knowledge evaluation cycle from the Unit 3 Agility and Knowledge Management. So, in that, we are going to see the institutional knowledge evaluation cycle. That means it's not a one time activity, it is a cycle you can use again and again, improving the each time. That is, the institutional knowledge evaluation cycle is a repeatable iterative framework designed to transform raw ideas and valuable experience into shared usable knowledge across an entire organizations. So instead of ideas being stuck with one person, this framework helps spread them across the whole company so everyone will be benefited. It systematically guides the journey from initial insight creation to large scale impact and competitive advantage. It helps turn small insight into big outcomes that give the organization an edge over competitors. This cycle built upon the clear rules, lightweight governance, and continuous feedback loops. That means everyone knows their rule, the rules are simple, and there is always feedback to improve the process. At ensuring that content remains accurate, relevant, and impactful. It harmoniously balances the crucial element of people, process, and modern platforms. That's a balance between the people who use knowledge, the process that manage it, and the technology platform that support it. It including the collaborative communities, efficient workflows, robust repositories, and insightful analytics. These are the tools, practices that make the cycle practical, working together, storing the knowledge properly, and analyzing the data for better decisions. In next slide, we will see why this knowledge evaluation cycle is matter. So we are going through this. So implementing the robust knowledge evaluation cycle yield the tangible benefits, transforming how your institution operates and innovates. It directly contributes to greater efficiency and enhanced decision making and a culture of continuous learning. Here, the number one is accelerated onboarding. Instead of spending the months figuring things out, new employees can immediately tap into shared knowledge, become the productive faster. The second one is informed decision. It access to validate insights, empowers leaders and team to make strategic choices with confidence. Third one is reduced rework. Eliminate redundant efforts and costly makes by ensuring everyone uses the latest and most accurate information. And last one is increase the reuse and innovation. So the best practice don't stay hidden. They get reused across the teams and when that happens, it naturally sparks more innovations. In next slide, we will see what are the six phases. A strategic overview. The institutional knowledge evaluation cycle progresses through the six distinct, eight interconnected space. Each phase plays a vital role in transforming raw data experience into valuable institutional asset, culminating a strategic advantage. Here, number one is a development generating new insights and knowledge artifacts. This is where ideas are born, teams brainstorm, analyze, and create new forms of knowledge that can be useful later. And second one is the acquisition, integrating trusted external knowledge into the system. Here the institution does not just rely on the internal ideas, it also bring in the reliable information from outside source like research, industry trends, and expert input. And third one is the refinement, validating, standardizing, and enhancing the knowledge for reuse. Not all knowledge is perfect right away. This phase makes sure information is checked, cleaned up, and improved so it's accurate and ready for use. Fourth one is distribution. It is the delivering knowledge to the right people at the right time. So delivering the knowledge to the right people at the right time, it makes sure the information is checked, cleaned up, and improved so it's accurate and ready for use. And fifth one is deployment. It is actively applying the knowledge within the daily operations and decisions. Here the knowledge comes from to life. It's not just stored, it's used directly in day-to-day work and strategic decisions. And leveraging, transforming knowledge into strategic advantage and investment. So finally the knowledge becomes a long-term asset. It's used to gain the competitive edge, drive innovation, and create real institutional value. In next slide, we are going to see the knowledge development, that is phase 1. This is the stage where raw ideas and insights first take shape into usable knowledge artifacts. Here the purpose are generate the new knowledge artifacts such as the draft, datasets, code, procedures, and lessons are learned from research, project, and pilots. So in simple words, this phase is all about creating the first version of knowledge, whether it is a draft, some code, a dataset, or documented lesson. And next one is the input. It is driven by critical questions, signals, observations, and hypotheses directly from the real world work. So that means the ideas don't come from nowhere, they come from the real problems, observations, and challenges faced in the actual work situations. In next one is the outputs. That is the key deliverables include versions draft, each with the assigned owners, defined purpose, and target the audience and relevance metadata tags. Here the core practices include the rabbit prototyping, proof of concept, and collaborative authoring sessions, and agile and rapid review cycles. This means teams quickly build, test small models, write draft together, and review work fast so that ideas move forward instead of getting stuck. The next one is the key measures. So here the idea to draft, completion time, and review turnaround efficiency, and clarity and completeness scores. In other words, success is measured by how quickly ideas turn into draft, how fast reviews are done, how clear the complete outputs are. In next slide, we are seeing the knowledge acquisitions. So, this is the stage where external knowledge is carefully brought into the institution. The focus is making sure it is reliable, relevant, and usable. So, this phase focuses on systematically bringing valuable external knowledge into institutional ecosystems, ensuring the meets the stringent standards for reliability and usability. Here, the number one is the relevance and credibility. Assess the source for alignment with the organizational needs and accuracy. So, here the institutional checks whether the knowledge truly fits its goal, whether the source is trustworthy. And second one is IP and compilations. So IP and compliance verify the intellectual property rights, licensing and ethical considerations. So this ensures the knowledge is legally and ethically safe to use, avoid the copyright issues, licensing problems and so on. And then last one is the systematic integrations. Systematic integrations deduplicates against the existing asset catalog with ownership and refresh dates. Here that means the new knowledge is checked so it does not duplicate what already exists and it is properly catalogued with a clear ownership and updates. And here the output and measures are the output is the cited tagged entries ready for the refinement and discovery, and measures are acceptance rates, time to catalog, renewal, expiry coverage of external assets. So these ensure every new piece of knowledge is ready to use, properly tracked and refreshed when needed. In the next slide, we will see the knowledge refinement. This is where raw or acquired knowledge is polished into high quality reusable assets. Think of it as turning the rough material into gold, something reliable, consistent, and easy to find out. So, the refinement phase transforms the raw or acquired material into reliable, reusable gold assets. So, this is where quality, consistency, and fundamentability are embedded into every piece of content. Here, number one is quality assurance. Its subject matter expert and peer reviews a rigorous quality assurance checklist. So these steps make sure expert and peer review the content so errors are caught and materials is accurate. And second one is the standardizations. So using consistent templates, version control and change logs. This keep everything uniform. Templates make it easy to understand and version control tracks updates so there is no confusion. And third one is the contextualizations, addition of usage guidance, accessibility and privacy by design elements. This ensures people know how to use the knowledge correctly. It's accessible to everyone and privacy concerns are respected. And last one is here the outputs are fully approved, easily searchable asset residing in trusted institutional repositories. Here the measures are accuracy, defect rates, freshness, context of content, time, approval, metrics. So at the end of the refinement, the knowledge is not just polished, it is ready to be used effectively with a clear quality measure to track it. In next slide, we are going to see the knowledge distributions. Here the critical phase ensure the refined knowledge reaches the right people through the optimal channels at precisely the moment it's needed while minimizing the information overload. Here we have target, channels, feedback. So targeting is personalized delivery by role, task and timing for maximum relevance. Yeah, for example, a manager may get a dashboard summary while a technical team member might get detailed reports. So the delivery is customized. And second one is the channels. Channels utilize portals, learning management systems, integrated search communities of practice and direct communications. This means knowledge can flow through the multiple routes, online portals, training systems, expert communities, even direct communication like newsletter or alerts. And third one is feedback. This closes the loop. So feedback integrate user rating, comments and search analytics to continuously inform content refinement. This closes the loop. People can rate, comment, give feedback on the content, helping the organization refine and improve the knowledge base. Enablement and measures are provide the user-friendly formats like concise summaries, quick reference, cheat sheets, micro-learning models, and comprehensive FAQ and question answer sections. Here the measures are assess the knowledge reach, search success rate, overall reuse rate, and time to find the metrics. This means the knowledge is delivered in user-friendly ways and the institutional measures how well it's reaching the people, how often it's reused. In next slide, we are going to see the phase 5, that is knowledge deployment. So this is the active application stage where refined knowledge is embedded and utilized within the flow of daily work, directly impacting real world operations and strategic decisions. Here the number one is the integrations. So integrate the knowledge into standard operating procedures, comprehensive checklist and decision support tools. This means knowledge is built right into daily workflows like checklist, SOPs are tools that guide the team in real time. And next one is change management. So pilot new deployment using the canary release, A/B test, continuously monitor the adoption and performance. Here new knowledge is not rolled out blindly. It tested in a small step, monitored closely, adjusted before full deployment. And third one is the continuous learning, conduct through the post implementation reviews to capture the exceptions and adoption for future improvements. Every deployment is reviewed afterwards to learn what went right, what went wrong, how to improve the future. And last point is feedback loop. Systematically send observations upstream to update the existing knowledge assets and address the identified knowledge gaps. This ensures the field experience flows back into systems, keeping the knowledge updated and relevant. Here, the measures are quantify the lift in the desired outcomes, reductions in errors or defects, improvement in cycle times, so overall adoption rates apply the knowledge. In other words, we check whether the deploying knowledge actually improved the performance, whether it is reduced the mistake and it is adopted widely. And now we will move into the next slide. Here the phase 6 is knowledge leveraging. The final phase focusing using the accumulated institutional knowledge that is strategically build the lasting competitive advantage and drive the sustained organization growth with impact. So it delivers the real growth and competitive advantage and long-term impact. Number one is the revenue growth. It is achieved through the product innovation or market expansion fueled by the deep insights. So here knowledge helps to create a new products that enter a new markets and generate the higher revenue. And next one is cost saving. It is identified by optimizing the process and reducing the redundancy using shared best practices. It makes operations more efficient, it cuts unnecessary costs and saves the millions. And next one is accelerated innovation. It is the faster development cycle and successful project launches the stemming from the shared knowledge. So new ideas and products can be launched at double the speed. So here the strategic options and portfolio management decide whether the invest further in certain areas, pursue the strategic partnership, license valuable intellectual property, publish a research or open source when appropriate. Here the portfolio management scale the high impact and content that compounds the outcomes while strategically retaining the low value assets. This aligns knowledge asset with overarching the organizational goals and stakeholder needs, ensuring the maximum return on investment. And next slide, we are going to see the driving strategics advantage. Here, the institutional knowledge evolution cycle is more than a framework. It is a strategic imperative for any organization aiming for sustainable growth and continuous innovation. By embracing this comprehensive cycle, you transform the tacit experience into explicit actionable insight. It is the integrated process and tangible returns and future proofing. So integrated process knowledge moves seamlessly from creation to application, breaking down organizational silos and fostering collaborations. That means no department works in the isolation. Knowledge flows freely across teams, making collaboration natural and effective. Next one is tangible returns. This systematic approach translates directly into the measurable improvements in operational efficiency, so decision quality and overall outcomes. In other words, it's not just a theory, it delivers the visible result like faster decision, better efficiency. And the last one is the future proofing. It ensures that your institution remains agile, adaptable, and competitive in dynamic information landscape. By constantly evolving the knowledge, organizations stay ahead of the change and remain competitive. So, invest in your institutional knowledge. It's the most powerful yet often underutilized asset you possess. That knowledge is just information but a strategic resource for growth and innovations. Okay, thank you.